January 2000. A wedding reception. The guests erupt in applause as the bride and groom share their first dance. Everything looks perfect. Then the groom leans toward his bride and quietly whispers,
"I am the alpha in this relationship."
The music fades. Silence. Years later, Justine would say she never forgot those words. At the time, she simply laughed it off, thinking it was just another one of Elon's confident jokes. Only much later would she begin to see that moment for what it really was. It's strange to think about. Before Tesla, before SpaceX, before PayPal, 20-year-old Elon Musk was simply a shy engineering student carrying 2 melting ice cream cones across a university campus, trying to win the heart of one girl. This is where their story begins. Part 1. The One Who Saw the Fire.
Queen's University, Kingston, Canada. Fresh from South Africa, 20-year-old Elon Musk was an outsider. While everyone else spent weekends partying, he spent his reading engineering textbooks. While his classmates worried about finding jobs, Elon talked about the internet, space exploration, and a future almost no one else believed in. Then one day, someone caught his attention. Her name was Justine Wilson, an English major, an aspiring novelist. The kind of man she imagined falling for was an artist, someone who rode motorcycles, quoted poetry, and looked like he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. A quiet engineering student in a button-down shirt was the exact opposite. But Elon didn't hesitate.
"Would you like to get some ice cream?"
Justine casually agreed. When the day came, she never showed up, assuming he'd take the hint. Most people would have. Elon didn't. A few hours later, Justine was studying in the student center when she heard someone clear his throat behind her. She turned around. There stood Elon. In each hand, a chocolate chip ice cream cone, already melting down his hands. Years later, Justine would write,
"He was not a man who gave up easily."
But it wasn't the ice cream that won her over. It was the conversation that followed. Most people treated her dream of becoming a novelist as nothing more than a charming hobby. Elon didn't. He looked at her ambitions the same way he looked at his own.
"I see myself in you. You have fire."
For the first time, someone wasn't simply encouraging her. Someone genuinely believed she could become the person she dreamed of being. Before long, they were together. Soon afterward, Elon transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, and their relationship became long distance. Whenever they were together, they talked about books, technology, and the future. One afternoon, they wandered into a bookstore. Justine paused in front of a shelf, hesitating over books she couldn't really afford. Elon handed her his credit card.
"Take whatever you want."
She chose only 2. Elon smiled, pointed toward the shelves, and said,
"One day, your books will be on these shelves. Mine too."
At the time, they believed they were dreaming about the same future.
Part 2. A Promise on the Sidewalk.
After graduation, Their lives went in different directions. Justine moved to Japan to teach English. Elon headed to California to build his first startup. Distance slowly became separation. Nearly a year passed. One evening after returning to Canada, Justine quietly told her sister,
If Elon ever calls me again, I think I'd give it another chance.
1 week later, the phone rang.
Hey, Justine. It's me.
Whether it was coincidence or fate, neither of them ever really knew. But neither hesitated. Justine boarded a plane for California. Life there was far from glamorous. Elon slept on the office floor and showered at a public gym. Dinner was often nothing more than instant ramen. But Justine wasn't there because he was wealthy. He genuinely wasn't. She stayed because she believed in the future he was trying to build. And somehow, that was enough. Then, everything changed. In 1999, Zip2 was sold, and Elon suddenly found himself enormously wealthy. One day, while they were walking together, Justine joked,
Now that you're rich, you're not going to leave me for a supermodel, are you?
Elon stopped. Right there, in the middle of an ordinary sidewalk, he dropped to one knee.
Never. Will you marry me?
No luxury restaurant. No private beach. No elaborate proposal. Just an ordinary street. And one unforgettable question.
Part 3. The Fire That Went Cold.
A few months before the wedding, Elon told Justine he had arranged a meeting with a lawyer. The company's board needed some paperwork signed, he explained. Trusting the man she was about to marry, Justine signed the documents without fully understanding what they meant. Only years later would she realize that the agreement significantly limited her rights if they ever divorced. Looking back, she wrote,
I trusted my husband. Why else had I married him?
January 2000. They became husband and wife. The guests applauded. The music played. They shared their first dance. Then Elon leaned close and whispered those words.
I am the alpha in this relationship.
At the time, it sounded like nothing more than confidence. Only years later would those words take on a very different, chilling meaning for Justine. In 2008, after 8 years of marriage, it came to an end. There wasn't a single reason. There was success, pressure, the tragic loss of their firstborn child, and 2 people whose expectations had slowly drifted apart. As Elon's companies grew, he was consumed by work, increasingly treating her less like a wife and more like someone on his payroll. The unresolved conflicts only grew deeper with time, and even 5 children together wasn't enough to hold the marriage intact. There was once a 20-year-old engineering student who could see nothing but the future. And there was a young writer who believed in his dreams before almost anyone else did. For a time, they were each other's greatest source of hope. In the end, they became strangers. What is most striking of all? Just 6 weeks after filing for divorce, Elon was already engaged to someone else. Next episode, a new love finds Elon Musk.